For all of you to be here to focus on education and the economy, I think in itself sends a message of how important this is to the state of Arizona and our future. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Expect More Arizona, we are a statewide, nonpartisan partnership dedicated to raising public awareness about the importance of strengthening education in our state. We are creating a movement of Arizonans who value education as Arizona's top priority. Think about it. Your future workforce, customers, and consumers are in today's cradles and classrooms. In fact, nearly 2.3 million Arizonans are under the age of 18. Some will be entering the workforce next year, others in 18 years or more. The better their education and the higher their academic achievement, the stronger an economic force they will become. Listen to these statistics. 75% of Arizona's children are not proficient in reading by the 4th grade. Nearly 30% of our students do not graduate from high school. And Arizona ranks 43rd in the nation for high school students who go directly from high school to college.
So how much longer will we continue to do the same thing and expect different results? If I was running a company today that had the same statistics as education, and thank God I'm not, you can bet we would be making changes right now. Very decisive changes. We'd be setting very specific goals. We'd be measuring those goals, and we'd be holding people accountable for not being able to achieve those goals. And in business, you have no choice. If you don't do that, you fail and you are out of business. But education must change. Education has got to become more innovative and more creative in the delivery of that education to the students. It has to raise the bar on the standards by which we measure ourselves for performance, and considerably so. We need to hold people accountable who don't meet those standards, and we need to figure out some way to reward those who exceed those standards. And we don't blink an eye to send a young adult to prison for 10 or 20 years at the cost of $30,000 or $40,000 a year. And the social outcome of that experience has been someone who will get out of prison and more than likely can't get a job. They'll get out of prison and more than likely they can't adequately support their family. Or they will get out of prison and they have a 40% chance of returning to prison. And yet we will fight with everything in us, especially at the legislature, to deny funding for a program that just might keep a young adult in school or get them prepared for a job rather than ending up in prison. So the question for us is, our legacy as this generation going to be? Will it be a generation that created an environment where our children and our grandchildren can no longer achieve the same success that we've achieved? And I hope that's not the case. Because I strongly believe if we are willing to work together in collaboration between education, business, and politicians, and if we have the courage to meet these problems head on and make the hard decisions that it will take to change the educational system, then I think we will have created the environment where our children and our grandchildren can exceed the success that we've enjoyed. And I don't know about you, but I choose the latter.
Now, businesses must communicate their needs and concerns with the current pipeline and what's in or what's not in it, but they also must be a part of the solution to the problem. They can't just complain about the pipeline. We can't do that anymore. It doesn't work. The best way to do that, maybe the only way to do that, is to get involved.
As a company, we need to find ways to engage with education, whether it's supporting schools. We provide video services to all the schools in the areas that we serve at free because we think that's important. But what we're doing now is finding ways to take our technology into the classroom in even bigger ways.
One thing I would encourage small business leaders to do is talk to their employees as parents and encourage them to get their, as employee parents, to get involved in the education process, to encourage their children.
But we really need to have a strong education system in our state, not only to attract workers, but to attract more high-tech business, so we can continue that sort of continuum of creating jobs and improving our economy.
But we have a long way to go. We rank at the bottom of funding per student. We have one of the 2 or 3 top highest dropout rates in the United States. And most statistics show we're somewhere between 40th and 50th in most education categories. Now, I know some people say it's not that bad. We're really literally in the 30s. Well, is less than average good enough for us? I don't think so.
I think we need to change how we speak of education. I think we hammer it, we demean it, we degrade it. And I think it needs, as others have said, it needs to be our top priority and needs to be spoken of with the respect that it deserves.
Joining voices together is important. And I think the small and medium-sized businesses can join with their chambers of commerce, with other organizations that engage in public policy. Because unfortunately today, public policy is where an awful lot of these decisions are getting made. And that's where the opportunity, I think, lies for the small and business people, and that is to get engaged.
Most of our legislators, they're either pro-business or pro-education, and I don't understand why it has to be an either-or proposition. And I think the message needs to be that a vote for education is a vote for business.
Nearly 50% of our students do not qualify to enroll in our state's universities. That's roughly 30,000 kids coming out of the system not prepared for post-secondary education or career. This must change if we hope to attract and retain diverse industries and talent in Arizona. And it's up to every person in this room to change these trends. We have great examples of how to do it. Now, let's go get it done.